Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channels and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes to continue hustling. This episode is brought to you by Excite Medical and the DRX 9000, Peach State Payments, Recover, Chiro HD, Softwave, Cool Blue BA, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Script AI, Chiro Moguls, The Chiro Speaking Company, Pure Chiro Notes, 5-Star Forge, Titronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, Life Chiropractic College West, and the IFCO. You can benefit from our full list of sponsors by visiting the sponsor page at chirohustle.com/sponsors. Links in the description. Now, let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 709 of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. I'm your producer, Luke Millette, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Michael Coates. If you want to hear his story about helping chiropractors with medical lien law and PI business, stay tuned for the full episode. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. Today I have Michael Coates on with me. It's not his first rodeo with us. It's maybe his second. Hopefully there'll be a lot more, and we'll see about getting him on for episode 1000 in the future.
I've lobbied for that. I'm going to lobby hard, James.
It might be a few years down the line, so hopefully you'll help a lot of people in between now and then. The topics that we're going to jump on today is we're going to add value first. We're going to front load you with understanding medical lien law, which I think is huge for people to understand and get their heads around, and improving the PI business for chiropractors and what it means to do this type of work and how we might be able to strategically get more cases for chiropractors and what it looks like financially. You know, there was a lot of things you were sharing with me about like how things are changing in the new year that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in learning more. So come with your pen and paper, your notepad, and take some notes today because you're going to walk away better positioned with your PI moving forward. Then we're going to talk about his personal brand, Personal Injury Made Easy. It's on the screen there, pimadeeasy.com is his website. He does some billing with PI Billing Pros. He has a business advantage program. He has another thing called Negotiation to Keto that I hope we get to talk to a little bit about. And then he has a book. We'll close out talking about the book. But he has the processes, the profits, and the growth of his strategies to teaching people how to do this type of work. But before we get into talking about these topics, I want to share with you our big why. Why do we do what we do over here at Chiro Hustle? Well, first things first is freedom of speech. I think it's so important because as a brand over here at Chiro Hustle, we know what it's like to be traffic throttled. We know what it's like to be censored. We know what it's like to be shadow banned. We'd never do that to you. So we believe that everybody's message needs to be disseminated and delivered. And everybody that's ever done an interview with us, Michael, we've aired it. Pretty cool, right? And as we get a little bit more down the line, we get it philosophical. We do believe in medical freedom and family health freedom. If you need help with this, reach out to Michael. He'll help you find a chiropractor that can help you with these topics. And if not, go to your search engines and find somebody in your neighborhood or city that can help you as a chiropractor, because they're going to give you the best guidance on medical freedom and family health freedom. And as we get more philosophical, we do believe in BJ Palmer Sacred Trust. If you need some information on this, go to our show notes and click on it. It's BJ Palmer's last words. I don't care if you've been practicing for 30 years. Go click on it. Learn more about this profession. Fall back in love. We believe in subluxation-based chiropractic, innate intelligence, universal intelligence. If you know a chiropractic student or somebody that's graduated within the past 5 years, please share the show with them because they're removing the language from these educational institutions. And we need to make sure that this philosophy thrives long-term in this profession. So if you don't know what a subluxation is, share the show with somebody. If you don't know what innate intelligence or universal intelligence is, please share the show with somebody. And with that, we believe that when man or woman, the physical gets adjusted, it connects them to man or woman, the spiritual. And this is episode 709 of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. Michael Coates, welcome.
Thank you, James. In fact, let me do a shout out to you. You know, you mentioned freedom of speech, and I think it's part of the problem with a lot of continuing education out there. Everybody chiropractors go conferences, get the CEUs, right? But in the end, what they miss out on is the really important stuff that chiropractic boards aren't going to approve because they're to protect the public. They're not there to make you more successful. So it needs guys like you that are helping the individual practitioner so that they can have the best staff. They can do the best treatment. They can have the best life. They can have the best patient outcomes. And people might be thinking you just stay in your little studio there. Let me tell you all, James is out at everything because I speak around the country. And when I'm out there, there's James. He's at like everything. He spends his time, his money, and he's out there to take action and to make a difference. So James, I just give you kudos because not a lot of people are committed like I see you are. So thank you, bro.
Yeah. And I tell everybody there's three things that you can give to anything you believe in. You can give your time, your talent, or your treasure. And sometimes we have the ability to give all three. Sometimes you only have one thing that you can give, so give it. But I think that if you believe in something long enough and you have a desire to see it become more understood, then give all to it. And I appreciate you for recognizing me. It's really cool that you have seen me in so many places, and the world is abundant. You just got to go out there and find it.
It's funny when you said that. It ties directly into what I do. Like I'm so passionate about personal injury as a solution to having chiropractic offices not just survive and just try to get the bills paid, but to literally get the life that they want. Because, we will talk about a little bit, but there is no other area than personal injury where chiropractic is the lead medical specialty. The first one a patient goes to who probably has never had chiropractic care. It pays you at full out-of-network rates. So one PI patient can make up like 5 Medicare patients. You have better patient outcomes because patients comply with the treatment plan because they've got a financial interest at stake. And it's actually easier dealing with attorneys when you learn how to do this right than it is those pesky healthcare insurers who keep not wanting to pay you anything. So there's so much great about PI, and it's funny, a lot of the associations and organizations like Dirty Dancing, they put baby in a corner and baby is PI. And it should be front and center stage for chiropractic. And if chiropractic doesn't grab this like it should, you know who's going to take that from them?
PTs.
Yeah. Physical therapy is positioned to do it. They're just not listening. But if they do, you're going to lose this opportunity. And now is your time.
Yeah. I think that one of the questions I ask everybody on the interviews that we do here is, where do you see the profession going in the next 20 years? And I think this would be a really good opportunity for you to share what you think.
Well, look, forget 20. I'm going to tell you that in the next 2 years, chiropractic is going to make progress that it would probably take them more than 20 years. And that's because of with the appointment of Kennedy for HHS, you have someone you don't have to teach about the value of chiropractic. He's a huge chiropractic fan. It has helped his foundation. It has been there in helping him in his physical treatments. He's a lover of chiropractic. So now we've got an advocate for alternative medicine. That's we need less pills, potions, and surgeries, right? And he's going to help make that happen. And like, all right, Dr. Oz is not far off in helping that too, as well. So I think that what you're going to see is the next 2 years, which is where most presidential administrations get the hard work done. I think it's going to advance chiropractic. And since I'm involved with a lot of the national leadership in the industry, I can tell you that all the main players, all the organizations, all the primary vendors have all circled the wagons together to make a combined, unified move with the new administration to make this happen. So I can't tell you how excited I am for chiropractic. This is your time.
So we're not even talking in 20 years. We're talking in 2 years. And
who?
Yeah,
I mean, can you imagine where Medicare, instead of just paying for adjustments, now treats you and reimbursing you like it does any medical profession, right? I mean, that's what it should be. And you getting that kind of respect and not letting the AMA and others knock you down, right? So this is where chiropractic of all is going to be able to stand up front and center. I really believe that. And I think we're going to see that. I think you're going to help to lead that charge too, James, as a voice in this over the next few years. So I think as that goes up, I hope you rock it just like chiropractic will.
Well, I appreciate you saying that too. And one of the things I always want to make precedence for is I've always believed that there's never been a better time to be a chiropractor. Yeah, you've been to these seminars, you heard the people speak from the platforms, and one of the signature one-liners is there's never been a better time to be a chiropractor. Well, honestly, as you talk and I talk and this inspiration starts to churn, like there's never been a better time to be a chiropractor than 2025. And I believe that if everybody goes all in and shares the message about making America healthy again, and people are tired of being duped and subverted to political, I guess, messaging, it's not about the politics, it's about the people. And if we have an advocate that's ready to do the right thing for the American people, gosh, what a blessing. And I really believe that those times are upon us. So, yeah, there's never been a better time to be a chiropractor.
I'll give you two more things in that. If you think about what chiropractic is so well positioned for, it's the balance and the symbiosis between injury care and wellness care, right? It's two sides of the same coin. Every injured person is going to get better and needs more to be stabilized and wellness. And most every wellness patient at some point gets injured, right? And so chiropractic is so unique to help both sides, and they feed each other. And then it's like I told you before we started this, is how so many states, California being one, Arizona recently, New Jersey, others, that in minimum auto insurance coverage has upped the minimums. California, as of January 1 this year, doubled the minimum auto insurance from 15,000 to 30,000. And it goes to 50,000 in 2034. So every PI patient walking in California is now worth 30,000 versus 15 before. And a lot of states have been upping their game as well. So like as Warren Buffett would say in investment, follow the money. It's not in healthcare reimbursement. The money is in personal injury, especially when chiropractic has the lead. So, man, grab the tail of that tiger and do not let go. Saddle it up.
So let's add some more value to them. We're talking about a lot of things that can help them double their return on the care they provide with these PI cases. Medical lien law is what I wanted to open up with today. Explain that to us, like if you were talking to a new chiropractic graduate and why it would matter for them to get on board with understanding the intricacies of how this business works.
Sure. The downside in PI is you're basically making a deferred arrangement to be paid. You offer services, you agree to wait to the end of a PI claim or lawsuit to then be paid, right? But I want you to now, all of the ones in school or the ones that are out there have what in business? A lease. They have a chiropractic office and they sign this really extensive contract that governs the rights and obligations because they're giving you the rental space and then over time you will pay for the use. Well, it's kind of the same thing here. The contract in personal injury, which every business deals in contracts in the world, in every industry, it's the foundation of doing business are contracts. And a contract in PI is either a medical lien agreement in most states or a letter of protection. Not as good, but some states are LOP states. So it is that contractual basis that matters. And the problem you have is that 99% of the offices out there use a medical lien agreement that sucks. It is deficient. It's not protecting you. It's some attorney who gave it to you to use, but it's for their benefit. So you think they're going to give them something that's more to your benefit? Of course not. I back in 2012, I think I had the first about doing a different lien agreement with Chiropractor Economics, which they published. And then I started getting mine around the country back then. And I developed one that was by far the best because I found that they weren't enough well protected. So I would say this, when you're out there, guys, contracts matter. And that's what medical lien law, it is your right to be paid. And it's contract law combined with something else, something unique in business. When you treat a patient, if that patient doesn't pay you, the patient takes off, that's it. Here's the great thing about PI. When the attorney signs that lien, they have fiduciary duties, the highest duties established by law, to watch your financial back. If their patient says, send me the doctor's money, I'll pay the doctor, wink, wink, they can't. So what other area do you have where when they get money, and they've signed the right agreement, they've got to hold that for you and watch your back. So it's not only you get paid the highest rates, not only do you get paid what health insurance will often deny, you also have somebody else with a legal obligation to protect your interest. And that's the basis of medical lien law. You, in fact, have trust accounting laws in about every state. And most states have what's called rule of professional conduct. It's the rule for ethics for attorneys, just like you have ethical laws for you as a chiropractic practitioner. And it's rule 1.15, generally B4, but it can vary by state. And that is an obligation that the attorney has to let you know when a matter has settled and to provide an accounting. What happened? Who's to get paid what? So it's some of the nuances of medical lien law that can come in to help you in what you got to do.
You made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is brought to you by Excite Medical and the DRX 9000, Peach State Payments, Recover, Chiro HD, Softwave, Cool Blue BA, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Script AI, Chiro Moguls, The Chiro Speaking Company, Pure Chiro Notes, 5-Star Forge, Kytronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, Life Chiropractic College West, and the IFCO. You can benefit from our full list of sponsors by visiting the sponsor page at chirohustle.com/sponsors. Links in the description. Now, let's hustle. And the thing is about what you're sharing here, like, I don't know what the going rate for 30 minutes of an attorney's time is, but that's really what we're doing here is we're front loading the content for people to get real-time information from a practicing attorney when it comes to pertaining to their practice as a chiropractor, where we're going in the next 3 to 4 years, which is amazing. Like, the amount of value you've already presented to our group to learn from is invaluable. And I think that that's where the next question comes into is, like, you're talking about the reimbursement, you're talking about the code of ethics, you're talking about the lien aspect of the business model. But now if you think about, like, how do chiropractors get more cases if that's such a good position for them? What would your recommendation be? Once again, chiropractors just finishing college and they're like, I want to run a personal injury style practice, or I want to do half wellness and half personal injury. What advice would you give them to get cases to start getting these types of results for their patients?
It's funny, when I've actually spoken at chiropractic colleges and the business administration professors oftentimes will have me in. First, I talk about that you're like the fresh meat coming out for the attorneys that don't want to treat you well. And so you got to be careful and learn how to navigate that. And then you got to remember every state kind of is unique in a way on its medical lien law or what it does. So not all states are great for PI. Some states are better than others. But even when it's not great for PI, it's still generally paying better than what healthcare reimbursement is. So keep that in mind. So in terms of getting more cases, it's funny that most people say, oh my God, how do I get more law firms sending me cases? And the first thing I say is, there are 3 ways to get more PI cases, and actually the attorneys are the last. What do you think the first is, James? Who knows you the best in your practice?
Your patients.
That's right. Your patients know you the best. You've been treating them for years. Well, that's not the guy coming out of school, but let's say you're out there, been doing this. You developed raving fans. They just don't know you do this because you treated them for something else. You create raving fans, you identify them, then you arm them because they'll shout about you from the rooftops, right? From email, however. The second way is your medical peers. You have, we wish there was more medical collaboration and more of the MDs and whatever knew the magic of chiropractic. Well, at least in PI, you've got all those that do take it on lien or LOP kind of coordinate together. So you've got a network that helps to understand each other and to pass things around to each other of patients and stuff. So getting to medical peers, like if you were doing for surgeons, so that the post-rehab, instead of the PT, come to chiropractic care. A medical center, a hospital, well, they're going to discharge patients. You can make the right contact there to send it to chiropractic therapy after. I mean, there's so many ways to get from medical peers if you approach it right. And the last is, yes, law firms. The good guys, not the ones who call you up on the phone and say, Hey, will you discount every bill by 30% and I'll send you PI cases? By the way, if you said yes and do it, you just entered into an agreement for medical billing fraud. So don't do it. For law firms, though, it's learning how to be a value driver. There are things that too many chiropractic offices do that can harm a PI case, like diagramming accidents, circling body parts and pain scale ratings that the patient does without the doctor's presence. Had no idea what it's for, and it already now messes up the documentation. And chiropractic is one thing, if you guys really fail on, it's documentation.
Well, this gets me right to the heart of the matters. Like, there's different topics for state associations, as you were talking about when we were opening up, about what people can speak upon that you have to go get your continuing education credits for. And one of those is coding and billing and ethics. And I think it's really important for people to understand the documentation and the coding if they're going to go down this path. And that should be like something that they study quite well in order to get into this world of treating accidents.
Yes, they're actually trauma codes. Well, gosh, what is personal injury? An accident. It's trauma. So if you're not using those, what are you doing? But the best thing I think for documentation is you learn the art. It's what I teach, the art of storytelling documentation. It's like you're creating a movie or a great book. It is the healthcare story. It is the life of the patient before the accident, what the patient's now life is like after, which probably sucks. Can't play with their kid like they love, and the most important things that give them value is gone or limited. And then it's the journey back to recovery. Maybe it's full, maybe it's not, but do you realize that you as a chiropractor see that patient 10 times more than their own attorney will ever see them? So when you document and tell the healthcare story, you actually help law firms get higher settlements. You make bad attorneys better, right? Better attorneys great. All because of if you learn how to do this part right.
So that takes us into your program, Personal Injury Made Easy. Walk people through how to interact with you into that business.
Oh, sure. Happy to, James. I mean, I believe in choice. I think we all got to figure out what's best for our own practices. And you've got people that are, you know what, I did PI before. I'm so pissed at the attorneys, I'll never do it again, and they're wrong because they just weren't doing it right or protected properly. You have those that do it just a little bit. Then you have those that do it a lot and sometimes too much. Remember what I said before about that injury and wellness care balance?
Mm-hmm.
I am not for a full PI practice. I am for a great mix of personal injury and wellness care on the chiropractic side and using both of them together, right? And so choices that my company provides, whether even when you do it all right, you do have a lot of law firms that still want to screw you. And it's how do you get paid by those who are seeking to get money for them, the patient, but not for you and the other medical providers. But also once you learn how to become a value driver, how to utilize that fact to get you fully paid by the good guys too. So I have a coaching program, which is the Business Advantage program, which teaches providers on all three key areas: proven processes, being properly paid, and growing the practice. And it's not just growing PI, it's using the PI segment to grow all practice segments. But let's say someone, you know what? I've got no staff, or my staff's too busy, and I've been doing PI and I want to get paid, but I don't have time to learn. I've got PI Billing Pros, which is all about serving as an outsource service where we serve as your lien negotiation agent, not as your attorney, and deal with the law firms. You assign the law firm, we handle them. And it's all with no financial risk to you because it's all based upon how much more we get them to pay, and you don't pay if we don't add value. Okay. So between those two choices on either you want to help your entire practice and just get better, or you've been dealing with PI and want to actually just get paid more by difficult firms, you can utilize the outsource. So those are the two main choices. Then there are some sub choices.
And I just think like working with somebody like you get a letterhead out to somebody and like a negotiation letter or a retained like letter, like I'm working with this guy in this firm, like that gets people to respond a lot differently.
Well, remember,
And
don't do it as an attorney. So it's as like personal injury made easy. But I'll tell you, what they learn quickly is I know more than they generally know about personal injury lien law, right? And you're dealing a lot of times with staff and whoever. Speaking of negotiations, if all you want to do is just learn to do negotiating better yourself, to help your staff, to help you, I have a negotiations training. It's a skill. Negotiation is a skill that we all do every day. We don't realize it. And it's a skill we don't try to get better at. And it takes training. And I have a particular method that I teach and utilize and teach others to utilize. So I have a class, Negotiations Aikido, that is in fact starting tomorrow, just an hour a month over 6 months. So you can just kind of tiptoe through it. But I teach that for staff and medical providers. If you go to negotiationsaikido.com, you could still sign up to start it tomorrow or even midstream and watch recordings to catch up. And when you learn this skill, it will help you, not just in personal injury. It will help you with every insurer, every adjuster. It'll help you in your personal life.
so I want to turn the page back a little bit. We were talking about creating the wellness model and creating the PI practice. Do you have strategies that people follow to retain patients once they finish a case and they're closed out and the attorney's satisfied, the medical providers are all paid out, and the individual gets whatever they get from the case? How do you get people to stick on with chiropractic care after that moment's complete?
Because you started even before what you just said. You discharge a patient. A lot of these cases take years to resolve. It's an advantage to you. I'm going to give you a secret I know how to do. Every 3 months after discharge, I want you not only contacting the attorney to see what's up, but contact your patient. And I want you to ask 3 questions. Here are the 3. How are you feeling? Think about that. My doctor called to see how I was doing. Maybe I'm doing well. Maybe I'm not. I need to come back in. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm doing fine, but someone else in my family isn't. Now I can get more business. Number 2 is, can I update your contact information? People move. You better know where they move to, what they've done. So get not only their physical address, get their email. Email for marketing. Inexpensive, costs you nothing. Utilize it, right? And number 3, how's your case doing? Now you'll find out if what the patient tells you isn't jiving with what the attorney said, and you got to raise it off the pile. But if you do that every 3 months, you're going to, it's that advantage. There's a reason to call the patient. You're keeping in touch with them. They're feeling good about you. Now you are more top of mind as they go out to refer others, especially when you create those raving fans. That's where it starts, James. It's before the case is even resolved. Now, when it does get later, you should make an active movement to move injury care to wellness care. I really believe you should have care plans, and you're actually training them. We're not going to spend time talking about it really here, but there's something called the No Surprises Act. You're required now by federal law, you were since 2021, to actually give a good faith estimate of the entire amount of care. Maybe it's $5,000. You had to tell them that up front or after the first visit. PI, they stay with you. But here's the thing. After they're done, now you can give them a good faith estimate on the care plan. They've been trained. The care you give works. The care plan is a lot less. Boom. Now you shifted them to a long-term client. And they need the wellness care. James, man, we all know that. If you might have gotten injury areas resolved, but in time, if you don't keep them strengthened, they weaken and things go back. Or other areas. I go in once a month to my chiropractor, not because I'm hurt, but to have and keep my spine in alignment to prevent problems, because I've had chronic back problems, and he has been magic for me. So it's educating them, teaching them, and that balance. Oh my God, you guys, chiropractors are in such a great position to just own the healthcare space for healthy living.
Well, you touched on a really important thing there. Is so many times, that's why I asked you the question, when a case is discharged and closed, where did that patient go? And I think it's really important for people to understand how to retain follow-up and how to retain the relationship.
And you know that most don't even contact their patient after discharge. They just deal with the law firm. They never talk to that patient again unless they decide to contact them. It's crazy. What business is going to get more business doing that?
Well, it's already low hanging fruit, and it's people that have a relationship with you already, and they already know that you can deliver the goods. Now, my counterbalance to that is if you guys are doing PI, just make sure you're adjusting your patients. Okay. Like that's a part too, is like, I've talked to people before and they're like, yeah, I went to a chiropractor and they didn't even adjust me. So if you're a chiropractor out there and you're doing PI, make sure you're delivering the goods and keeping good notes and good records for the case too, because
Not only that, while you're seeing them, you should be letting them know that you do for the gut, for the head, for the other areas. If you teach them about how the body's connected, how we flow, and how adjustments open things up, so they can flow, everything flows smoothly. You're going to educate them on the magic of chiropractic, the magic of what you do. And again, I think they forget to do this. They just focus on what they might be dealing with, and they forget the larger picture, which is, I want a healthy patient for life.
What's happening, Michael, is they're treating the paperwork and not the patient.
Yeah, well said.
And when you treat the paperwork, you get the outcome that you want the results for on the paperwork and not with the individual. So I think that we have to think about this as multidisciplinary, like treat the patient, treat the paperwork, and treat the relationship long-term. And then you'll win with PI.
And when we were mentioning how, and I was saying, really any business is on the same three areas that I coach on, which is really every business needs the right processes. It's just that unique, Scott, PI has some unique processes that you don't want to do to harm a case, but to make you a value driver. Every business wants to be properly paid. So you got to learn how to navigate that really twisty, dangerous road of being properly paid with people who fight for a living and argue for a living when you're a lover and a healer. That's where negotiations Aikido comes in, right? The energy of the superior opponent used against them to your advantage. And then it's to grow, whether it's more patients in your office, whether it's having more than one office, whether it's combined multidisciplinary practice. It's those three areas with, I want to see you're a great healer. What I like to coach on and to teach on is to make you a better business owner. So that all those business and personal dreams and goals you have, all not just come through, but come through in spades, right? And if you want to get some immediate help, I'll give you the lowest cost help of all. Get my book, Personal Injury Made Easy. It's on Amazon. Get the hardcover. It's nicer, right? But get it on Amazon, Personal Injury Made Easy, $40, I think, the hardcover, $33 for the soft cover. Don't just get it. Give it as the gift of knowledge to any other peer that you care about to help them. If they're struggling with a business, get it for them. Knowledge, the gift of knowledge, I think, is the best gift of all.
Well, I love this episode. I think it's packed full of good information for any chiropractor to walk away with more confidence when they're thinking about what it does to take care of injury cases. And I do believe that you are a subject matter expert on all topics that we discussed today. So thank you for coming on with us and talking about your skills and your development and your passion to help more people. And if people want to get more cases, go back and listen to this episode again, take some notes. And if you guys want to learn how to leverage your cases from converting people from the injury to the wellness model, go buy the book, read the book, and become a master at referrals, and listen to the other streams of new patients that you should go to, being your colleagues and peers within the medical professions, and go to your patients, email them, say, hey, we do personal injury at our clinic. Do you know anybody else that could use our services that's had a slip and fall or has had an auto accident? We help with those things too. And if you started to just do those types of things with outreach, you would see that the work that you provide would actually start multiplying. And the people that are already inside of your clinic and you're taking care of them, they all know 3 to 5 people that need your help. And probably one of them is a high ticket injury case. And it might take you 2 to 3 years to close it, but work with Michael. He'll be your advocate and help you find out how to do the lien, and you get paid quicker. And then there's some fiduciary concerns there and some responsibilities for that attorney and that patient practice responsibility, and you're going to see things move better, and people are all going to get paid and everybody be happy, and you'll help more people faster. So Michael, thank you for being on with us today. If you guys want to work with Michael or learn more about him, go to pimadeeasy.com. It's so easy. And
by the way, you can email me at michael@pimadeeasy.com at any time. And James, thank you for all that you do and all the guests you have on these podcasts to help others. I can't wait till you hit 1,000 and for the things you have in the works to just blow this space up. Can't wait to see it, James.
Yeah, there's one of my favorite quotes is by Bob Marley, and he said that the bad guys never take a day off, so why should I? So that's how I'll close out today. And appreciate you being on with me today, Michael Coates, episode 709 of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. I close out like I always do. You guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now. See you, Michael. Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.